I just didn't know how to, I didn't know how to handle it. Like, that was something that defeated me.
I gotta do it. Can't nobody stop doing drugs before me. It's my decision. I want my son to know who his dad is, but I don't want to take my son to a prison and have to see his dad that way. I want to stay. But before I go into the program, I want to stop smoking crack, so I don't have to deal with the heroin situation.
Welcome to U.S. Homeless Stories.
Welcome to Stories of the Homeless in America. In Texas, you can drive for hours through new neighborhoods, office districts, and construction sites, and still not see where thousands of people plan to sleep tonight. Because for many Texans, there are no doors to close when the day ends. Throughout the state, tens of thousands of people are living without stable housing. Not hidden away, but scattered along side streets, under overpasses, behind shopping malls, and in wooded strips between developments. These spaces are not temporary detours. They have become permanent living conditions. Life here is measured by small calculations. How far to walk for water, where to rest without attracting attention. You have to hold on to what you can, knowing that carrying too much will slow you down. Sleep is not deep enough, never deep enough to restore a body exhausted by constant movement and stress. This is happening in one of the fastest growing economies in the world. So what real opportunity does it mean if thousands of people have nowhere to sleep tonight? And what responsibility do cities, communities, and the public have in this situation? Follow us to the end as U.S. Homeless Stories exposes the reality of homelessness in Texas. 1. Homelessness in Texas manifests in various forms. Across the vast landscape of Texas, where opportunity often feels within reach, homelessness emerges as a complex and deeply human struggle shaped by uncertainty and endurance. According to the Texas Homeless Network's 2025 report, an estimated 37,490 people across the state are experiencing homelessness, a scale that reveals how widespread this quiet crisis has become, affecting both major cities and remote rural areas. Federal estimates from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development show a 12% statewide increase in just 1 year, as rising pressures push more people into unstable living conditions faster than solutions can respond. This growth is intensified by a severe lack of shelter. In Houston, the Kinder Institute reported the fewest available shelter beds in over 2 decades in 2025, leaving nearly 1,300 people unsheltered, an 18% increase from early 2024. These numbers reflect a system under strain, where unmet needs continue to outpace available resources. The impact is felt most strongly in urban centers such as Houston, Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas, where encampments form in overlooked spaces, while rural communities face added isolation with limited support networks. Life in tent clusters and temporary camps exposes the harsh reality of daily survival. The thin tarps offering little protection from rain or cold, the lack of sanitation turning basic routines into daily challenges, and the constant uncertainty slowly wearing down the spirit. Hundreds live this reality each day, navigating exhaustion from searching for food, the vulnerability of living without walls, and the deep fatigue that comes from having no secure place to rest. It is a sobering reminder of how fragile stability can be, and how quickly familiar comforts can disappear. Consider this: how might an unexpected change bring these realities closer to any of our lives? Recognizing that shared vulnerability encourages a deeper sense of communal care. Through U.S. Homeless Stories, the shedding light on these experiences fosters connection and empathy. If this perspective resonates with you, a like helps extend its reach, and subscribing keeps you with us as we continue exploring resilience and hardship across America. 2. Texas and its unrelenting heat waves. Across the vast, sun-baked landscape of Texas, extreme heat has become an unrelenting threat for those living without shelter, pushing human endurance to its limits. A 2024 report from the Texas Homeless Network reveals that people experiencing homelessness are 200 times more likely to suffer heat-related illnesses than those with access to shelter, a stark reminder of how dangerous exposure can be without relief. In Austin alone, nearly 24 people lost their lives to extreme heat between 2018 and 2023, according to the city's Homeless Strategy Office, showing how quickly these conditions can turn fatal. On a broader scale, Yale Climate Connections 2025 analysis identifies extreme heat as the deadliest weather hazard in the United States, with its impact falling hardest on communities where cooling resources are scarce. The daily reality unfolds as a landscape of silent suffering. Under the unforgiving sun, skin burns and blisters as sidewalks transform into searing hazards, where even standing still becomes painful. In these harsh urban environments, the simple act of finding shade turns into a desperate search, as concrete and steel offer little mercy. Without access to air-conditioned spaces, rest becomes elusive. Nights bring broken sleep, food spoils quickly, and exhaustion deepens. As noted in a 2024 Xinhua report, hundreds endure this cycle day after day, bodies strained by dehydration, clothes soaked with sweat, and energy drained by constant exposure. Water stations are few, relief is temporary, and survival becomes an hourly negotiation with the elements. The absence of a cool refuge magnifies every hardship, quietly wearing down both body and spirit. This reality is a reminder of how fragile stability can be. A shift in circumstance, a loss of shelter, or a stretch of extreme weather could place anyone in similar danger. How does relentless heat change the way we view everyday comforts? Through U.S. homeless stories. Though bringing these lived experiences into focus deepens understanding and empathy. If these stories stay with you, a like helps share their weight, and subscribing keeps you connected as we continue exploring resilience and survival across America. Three, untreated illnesses. Across communities in Texas, limited access to basic health care quietly deepens the hardships faced by people experiencing homelessness, turning manageable conditions into lasting burdens that shape every part of daily life. A 2025 study from a student-run clinic in Houston, published on PubMed Central, reveals that 38.7% of individuals facing housing insecurity are living with untreated cardiovascular conditions, showing how instability magnifies physical vulnerability. The same report notes substance use affecting 17.8%, where fragmented support systems leave recovery uncertain and incomplete. Statewide, the Texas Homeless Network's 2025 dashboard reports that 28% of the 37,490 people experiencing homelessness remain unsheltered, placing them in environments where health concerns intensify without timely intervention. This absence of care reveals itself in daily suffering. Persistent pain shadows each movement, while infections, chronic fatigue, and other untreated conditions slowly drain strength and hope. Hundreds spend their days navigating exhaustion, waiting hours at overcrowded clinics, struggling with transportation across wide rural areas, or enduring the quiet humiliation of explaining their situation to providers who may not fully understand the depth of their instability. In urban centers like Austin, fragmented services allow illnesses to worsen in silence, as lack of proper nutrition and rest further weaken already strained bodies. These experiences form a raw portrait of resilience under pressure. Poor health disrupts sleep, limits mobility, and creates a constant longing for relief, while isolation deepens when care feels out of reach. Yet within this fragility lies a shared truth. A sudden health crisis or financial setback could place any life on a similar path. Recognizing this vulnerability calls us toward compassion and collective responsibility. Through U.S. homeless stories, bringing these realities into focus fosters awareness and empathy. reminding us that even small acts of support can help bridge gaps in care. If these reflections resonate with you, a like helps extend their reach, and subscribing keeps you connected as we continue exploring the human stories shaping communities across America. Four, housing prices, rising faster than income. Deep in the heart of Texas, a place long associated with the promise that hard work could lead to the security of a stable home, a widening rift is now quietly reshaping the lives of countless residents. As housing prices climb far beyond the pace of everyday wages, that promise grows increasingly fragile. In cities like Houston, the median home price rose to $345,000 in 2025, marking a 3% increase over just 2 years, according to the Kinder Institute's State of Housing report. These numbers are not abstract statistics. They translate into lived experiences of strain and uncertainty, where many households devote more than half of their income to rent alone, existing in a constant undercurrent of anxiety about meeting basic needs. Across Texas as a whole, the pressure deepens. The 2025 Out of Reach report from the National Low Income Housing Coalition places the state's housing wage at $29.64 per hour. For workers earning minimum wage, this means laboring more than 100 hours every week just to afford a modest 2-bedroom apartment without sinking into crippling debt. In Harris County, the imbalance is especially stark, with an affordability gap reaching $129,763. Locking low-income residents into a cycle where financial stress steadily strips away the security and sense of belonging that a home is meant to offer. The emotional toll of this disconnect is unmistakable. It lives in the persistent worry over unpaid bills, in the slow disappearance of savings, and in the quiet dread that a single unexpected expense could unravel everything. Each day becomes an exercise in survival, stretching paychecks, sacrificing rest, and watching the idea of a peaceful place to return to slip further out of reach. In its place grows an ache of uncertainty that cuts to the core of human dignity. For many, this instability pushes them beyond the brink. Hundreds are forced onto the streets, where the absence of shelter magnifies every vulnerability. Ordinary comforts, warmth, privacy, safety become distant luxuries, and the weight of exhaustion settles deep within the soul. This fragile reality reveals a universal truth. Economic pressure does not discriminate. In times of sudden hardship, these circumstances can quietly touch any life, urging us to recognize our shared humanity with compassion. What might our own daily financial struggles reveal about our vulnerabilities? Through U.S. homeless stories, shedding light on these realities fosters a collective awareness rooted in empathy. If this story resonates with you, a like helps carry it further. And subscribing invites you to continue exploring these powerful narratives of American life. Stay with us as we delve deeper, each perspective revealing more about the resilience that quietly holds society together. Five, systemic root causes. Beneath the glow of Texas's thriving economy exists a complex network of forces that quietly undermine the stability of daily life for thousands of people. At the center of this unraveling is the severe shortage of deeply affordable housing. According to the National Alliance to End Homelessness in its 2025 State of Homelessness report, rising housing costs are pushing individuals and families into impossible decisions, choosing between paying rent and meeting basic necessities, resulting in a 12% increase in homelessness across the state since 2020. In rural communities, the crisis is further intensified by substance use disorders. A 2025 study from Texas Southern University reports that more than 20% of unhoused individuals in these areas are affected, while limited access to treatment and support services leaves many to confront their struggles alone. Meanwhile, urban centers such as Austin grapple with the relentless effects of gentrification, where long-established neighborhoods are rapidly reshaped, displacing residents who have lived there for generations as costs surge beyond reach. Layered onto these challenges is systemic racism, rooted in historical practices like redlining, which continues to magnify inequality. In Houston, Black and Hispanic communities carry a disproportionate share of this burden. Data from the Coalition for the Homeless shows that in 2025, these groups accounted for 60% of the city's unsheltered population. These are not distant or theoretical issues. They unfold in everyday moments. Waking up without direction, searching for food in unfamiliar places, or feeling the pain of separation from loved ones as support systems fracture under strain. For hundreds, this reality means life on the streets, carrying everything they own in a single backpack, enduring the relentless fatigue of constant movement without a place to rest. The emotional weight is immense, a persistent feeling of being unseen in a crowded world, and where even basic tasks like applying for a job become overwhelming without a permanent address. It is devastating to see how deeply rooted problems steadily chip away at dignity, one missed chance at a time. Consider this. In what ways might unseen barriers within your own community mirror these broader patterns? These circumstances are not distant from any of us. A lost job or a sudden health crisis can quickly shift a life's trajectory, reminding us that shared vulnerability calls for collective compassion. Through U.S. Homeless Stories, we bring these hidden realities into view, fostering understanding and connection. If these reflections resonate with you, a like helps extend their reach, and subscribing keeps you engaged with the ongoing stories of resilience across the United States. Stay with us to truly understand the depth of these lived experiences shaping our nation. Six, voices of the homeless. Beyond the statistics and policy debates surrounding homelessness in Texas lies a deeper human reality shaped by lived experience. Voices gathered through community reports and advocacy networks reveal the quiet emotional weight carried by those without a stable place to call home. A sense of isolation that settles in as the world moves forward, leaving them unseen within crowded streets. In Houston, the 2025 point-in-time count conducted by the Coalition for the Homeless identified 1,282 people living unsheltered, a significant 15.8% increase from the year before. These figures reflect more than growth in numbers. They represent individuals navigating daily life without protection or certainty. Across Texas, the scope of the crisis expands further, with World Population Review estimating that 27,987 people experienced homelessness statewide in 2026, highlighting how widespread and deeply rooted this struggle has become. Many of these shared accounts center on the exhaustion of constant uncertainty. Nights spent under open skies fracture sleep, interrupted by city noise or exposure to the elements, while each morning demands renewed determination simply to find food, safety, and basic necessities. Hundreds live within this rhythm, carrying their belongings in worn bags, enduring the quiet pain of averted gazes, and longing for the simple dignity of privacy and rest. In Harris County, but where approximately 2,939 people faced homelessness in 2025 and 32% were unsheltered, these stories also speak of disconnection. They reflect the absence of family gatherings, the loss of personal security, and the emotional toll of living without a place that truly belongs to them. Yet within these reflections, a quiet resilience persists. Small acts of kindness, a moment of recognition or support, can reignite hope and affirm the enduring strength of the human spirit. These experiences invite us to listen more closely and reconsider how we engage with those around us. Life's unpredictable turns, a job loss or sudden hardship, can place anyone in similar circumstances. They're reminding us of our shared vulnerability. Through U.S. Homeless Stories, bringing these voices forward nurtures empathy and understanding. If these insights resonate, a like helps share their reach, and subscribing keeps you connected as we continue exploring the realities and resilience shaping lives across America. 7. From short-term responses to sustainable approaches. In Texas, moving from moments of crisis toward lasting stability depends on a careful balance between immediate relief and long-term vision, approaches that preserve dignity at every stage. Short-term interventions play a crucial role when urgency strikes. In Austin, rapid rehousing programs documented in the 2025 ECHO report delivered 6 to 24 months of rental assistance to more than 500 households, offering critical support at the edge of eviction and preventing the slide into homelessness. At the same time, emergency shelter capacity has grown by 70% since 2022, according to city data, creating temporary refuge where people can pause, receive warm meals, and reconnect with essential services amid displacement. These immediate measures, however, are designed to lead toward deeper, structural solutions. In Dallas, permanent supportive housing, supported by decades of research cited in the Texas Public Policy Foundation's 2025 analysis, combines long-term housing with voluntary wraparound services. In just 1 year, this model housed 303 households, reducing chronic instability by supporting independence rather than temporary survival. Houston has seen similar progress, where initiatives led by the Coalition for the Homeless reduced sheltered homelessness by 6% in 2025 through coordinated healthcare access and employment connections, demonstrating that sustainable housing solutions not only lower long-term costs, but also restore dignity, one permanent address at a time. These efforts directly confront the exhaustion of life in transition, the endless lines for shelter beds, the uncertainty of where the next meal will come from, and the quiet despair of repeated setbacks without a stable foundation. Hundreds move through this process, their paths marked by a powerful moment of relief, the weight of a key placed in their hand after months of uncertainty. That simple act begins to heal the isolation left by constant displacement. Together, these strategies show how targeted action can reshape outcomes, transforming mere survival into the possibility of stability. Consider this. How might the combination of immediate assistance and lasting support reshape lives within your own community? We are all part of this shared fabric, where unexpected hardship can touch anyone, reminding us of the importance of extending compassion without hesitation. Through U.S. homeless stories, examining these solutions deepens our understanding of collective progress. If this perspective resonates, a like helps carry it forward, and subscribing keeps you connected to the evolving stories of hope unfolding across America. Stay with us as we explore the broader impact of these efforts on our society. Conclusion: Texas and long-term questions. As we gently close this chapter on the intricate realities of homelessness in Texas, we're invited to linger on the timeless questions that beckon us toward a horizon of deeper compassion and shared healing. How can we nurture spaces where every individual feels the embrace of security, transforming fleeting hardships into stories of renewal and belonging? These reflections hold profound meaning for those walking this path, the quiet acknowledgement that their endurance carries an innate grace, a testament to the human spirit's ability to bloom even in barren soils, reminding us that every moment of struggle is laced with the potential for profound growth. For our audience, these narratives become a quiet call to introspection, weaving threads of empathy into our own lives, where understanding another's quiet battles softens our hearts and inspires us to extend hands of quiet support in our everyday worlds. In this spirit, let's offer a tender prayer for those facing these unseen trials. May gentle winds carry whispers of hope to your weary steps, guiding you toward open doors and kind souls who see the light within you. May the quiet strength of dawn renew your resolve, wrapping you in the warmth of possibility and the comfort of knowing you're not alone. And may the stars above remind you of the vast beauty in your journey, granting peace to your nights and the promise of brighter days ahead. These wishes flow from a place of shared humanity, and a collective longing for a world where no one bears the weight of isolation and silence. Shifting to the broader canvas, Texas's unfolding story urges us to ponder. In what ways might our individual choices contribute to a tapestry of lasting refuge, where innovation and kindness intertwine to uplift those in need? This vulnerability we explore together reveals a universal truth, that life's gentle twists could draw any of us into similar shadows, gently encouraging us to cherish our connections and offer grace freely, for in doing so, we enrich the very fabric of our communities. On U.S. Homeless Stories, these deep dives not only unveil hidden layers, but also kindle a flame of collective care, inviting us all to move forward with open, tender hearts. If these final musings have stirred a quiet resonance in your soul, a like would beautifully help spread this warmth further, and subscribing keeps you entwined in our heartfelt explorations of lives across America. And to you, dear viewers who've stayed with us through every poignant turn until this very moment, oh, how deeply we appreciate the precious gift of your time. It's your quiet companionship that breathes life into these stories, turning shared moments into waves of understanding and the gentle push toward a kinder world we can build together. As we bid farewell for now, hold on to this essence, letting it inspire ripples of empathy in your own corner of the world. For truly grasping these human truths empowers us to weave a more compassionate tomorrow.